Perfect. Here's your rewritten part 1. Keeping the same length, tone, and pacing while improving flow, humor, and readability. You ever have one of those days that start totally normal, and then out of nowhere, life decides to drop you straight into a sitcom episode? That was me last Tuesday. I pulled up to the community park with my food truck, Taco Bout It, ready to sling the best, spiciest tacos this side of town. Music blasting. A perfect mashup of mariachi and hip-hop. I was in the zone. It was shaping up to be a great day. But of course, peace never lasts long when you're in HOA territory. Enter Karen. Not your average Karen either. This one had the energy of someone who runs the neighborhood like a reality show. Picture this. Blinding white sneakers, hair so stiff it could survive a tornado, and a glare capable of peeling paint off walls. The second she spotted my truck, her eyes narrowed like I'd just parked a spaceship in her driveway. "You can't park here!" she barked, marching over like she was head judge of suburbia court. I looked up from sprinkling cilantro, tortilla in hand, and smiled the kind of smile people wear right before chaos starts. "Actually, I can," I said. "I'm catering the mayor's event next door." And just like that, her face did the slow-motion meltdown, jaw drop, eyes bug out, and of course, the dramatic reach for her phone. "I'm calling the HOA. This is public property," she shouted. I leaned against my truck, spinning my spatula like a wand. "Funny," I said. "The mayor personally approved this spot." Her expression curdled faster than milk in the sun. That's when it got spicy. Literally. My neighbor, Mr. Thompson, who'd been watching from his lawn chair sipping iced tea like it was movie night, called out, "Karen, maybe back up before you get salsa on that blouse." Oh, I laughed. Not a polite giggle. I'm talking full on. Can't breathe. This can't be real laughter. She did not appreciate it. "How dare you mock me?" she screeched, waving her arms like she was summoning the HOA Avengers. My taco crew peeked out from behind the truck, barely holding in their laughter. My new guy, Joey, whispered, should I start serving?" I nodded. Timing's everything. And right now, Karen was the main act. I walked up to her with a plate of our signature firecracker shrimp tacos, holding it out like a peace offering. "Careful," I said. "They're spicy enough to awaken your HOA powers." She recoiled like I'd offered her a live grenade. And then, poetic timing, the mayor himself stepped out from behind the event tent, laughing with his staff. He spotted me instantly. "Ah, perfect. Everyone meet the legend behind these tacos." Karen's face twisted through every emotion imaginable, disbelief, fury, regret, before landing squarely on humiliation. She tried one last, desperate move, blocking my, "Would you like me to continue with part 2 now?" truck with her SUV. The only problem? I was one step ahead. I smoothly backed my truck around her car like it was the county fair's bumper car arena. By now, a whole audience had gathered, phones out, cameras rolling, the park turning into a live episode of Keeping Up with the Karens. And there she stood, frozen in disbelief, like she'd just realized her entire life had been one long simulation she wasn't winning. Meanwhile, I'm serving tacos, the mayor's beside me cracking up, and Karen's storming off in a cloud of muttered unbelievables. Best part? The tacos were selling out, people were cheering, and I realized something. Sometimes life doesn't give you drama. It gives you content. And trust me, folks, this saga was just getting started. Just when I thought the HOA Karen meltdown couldn't top itself, fate said, "Bet." I had my food truck parked right next to the mayor's big gala tent. Balloons floating, banners waving, fancy hors d'oeuvres that no one actually wanted. There I was, the humble taco warrior, ready to serve glory wrapped in a tortilla. Cue Karen, marching back into the scene like a villain making her sequel debut. But this time, she brought backup. 2 equally furious friends, armed with clipboards like they were leading an HOA SWAT raid. They power-walked toward me, ranting about permits, ordinances, and how tacos apparently symbolize the downfall of modern civilization. I leaned on the counter, smirking like a cat who just knocked something valuable off a table. "Hey, ladies," I said. letting the aroma of grilled carnitas fill the air. Smells like freedom, and maybe a little chaos. Karen's glare could have melted metal. "This is unacceptable," she snapped. "You're violating public space." I cut in. "Funny, the mayor personally cleared this area for me. He even said, and I quote, 'If anyone messes with the taco truck, I'll revoke their HOA membership myself.'" Her jaw dropped so fast it almost hit the pavement. She tried to reply, but all that came out was a strangled, "What?" Before she could regroup, fate served up a masterpiece. My new secret item, the extra spicy ghost pepper taco, had just been handed to a local news reporter covering the event. One bite later, and the poor guy turned bright red, steam practically shooting from his ears as he sprinted toward the water station. Karen's reaction? Priceless. Her frown morphed into a perfect O, eyes wide like she'd just found out her golden retriever had a secret TikTok career. "This is a health hazard," she shrieked, clutching her pearls like an old movie star. I offered her a taco with a grin. "You sure? It's only mildly dangerous on kinda like your HOA policies." She jumped back like I'd offered her liquid fire. Meanwhile, her clipboard crew started snapping pictures, filming videos, and even measuring the distance between my truck and the tent, like they were investigating a federal crime scene. The mayor, The mayor, being a good sport, strolled over with a grin. "Karen, why don't you try one? I hear they've got character." Her glare could have melted steel beams. "I do not eat street food," she hissed, voice trembling with outrage. I motioned to the crowd that had gathered, phones in hand, recording every glorious second. "That's fine, Karen," I said. "You can just watch while the rest of us enjoy the party, and maybe pick up a little humility." Then came the moment that made the entire park gasp. Joey, my new guy, bless his clumsy soul, tried to dodge one of Karen's wild clipboard swings and accidentally bumped the salsa dispenser. In perfect slow motion, the container tipped, sending a crimson wave of salsa splattering across the grass and all over Karen's pristine white blouse. The crowd erupted. Laughter, applause, and someone whispering, "Did the HOA just get served?" filled the air. Karen froze mid-gasp and then unleashed a shriek that could have shattered glass. "This is an outrage." "I'm reporting this!" The mayor, barely keeping a straight face, raised a hand. "Actually, Karen, you might want to focus on enjoying the event. The tacos are highly recommended." She stormed off, muttering about lawsuits and the downfall of civilized dining. Meanwhile, the news reporter, recovered from his ghost pepper ordeal, gave me a thumbs up, still fanning his face. "Best event ever," he said. And in that moment, I realized something profound. Life doesn't send you HOA Karens to ruin your day. It sends them to make it legendary. As I served the last of the tacos and watched the mayor shake hands with smiling guests, I knew one thing for sure. Karen wasn't done. Oh no, she was regrouping. Just when I thought it was over, the universe reminded me, HOA Karens don't quit. They evolve. The mayor's event was now in full swing, music, speeches, lights, and my food truck had become the unofficial VIP lounge. Lines wrapped around the tent. Influencers snapped selfies. Even the local news anchor stopped by for a taco with the legend pic. And then she returned. Karen. But this time, she came prepared like she was about to invade Area 51. Clipboard? Check. Sunglasses perched dramatically on her head? Check. Scarf fluttering like a hero in a soap opera? Double check. She marched toward my truck with the intensity of a general about to wage suburban war. "You think you can just park here and serve food without consequences?" She shrieked, voice cracking like a bad radio signal. I flipped tortillas calmly, channeling my inner monk. "Actually, Karen," I said, grinning, "I don't just serve food, I serve justice on a tortilla." I offered her one, her face twisted in disgust. "I do not eat street food." Perfect. Timing couldn't have been better. Because at that exact moment, chaos decided to stage its encore. Joey, again, had left a tray of ghost pepper tacos on the counter. A single gust of wind tipped the tray, and in one glorious arc, the tacos took flight, straight toward Karen. She screamed, flailing like a cartoon caught in a tornado. People ducked, phones rolled, and the mayor's golden retriever heroically snagged a taco midair, prancing around in triumph. The crowd went wild. Karen stood frozen, taco sauce streaking her scarf, sunglasses askew, pride completely demolished. You could almost hear a sad violin as she muttered, This is unacceptable." The mayor, biting back laughter, held up his taco. "I've got to say," he chuckled, "this is the kind of entertainment I didn't know I needed. Bravo." And that's when it hit me. Not only had I served the mayor, the guests, and even a few influencer-level foodies, but I'd also created an accidental viral masterpiece of HOA Karen defeat. Her final act? She stomped her foot and yelled, "This will not go unreported." I leaned against the counter, smirking. "Oh, don't worry, Karen, it already has. And by the way, you look amazing in salsa." She sputtered, grabbed her friends, and stormed off like a thundercloud losing steam. The crowd erupted in laughter and chants of "Taco 1, HOA 0. By the time the mayor wrapped up his speech, my truck was empty, my crew was high-fiving, and Joey was still apologizing to the salsa gods. I wiped sweat from my brow, looked at the chaos, and thought, only in my life could a food truck spark an HOA meltdown and turn it into legend. And the best part? The story didn't end there. By sunset, videos of Karen's meltdown were trending. Memes were everywhere. And deep in the HOA forums, I'm pretty sure plans for revenge were already brewing. But one truth stood strong. No matter how dramatic the HOA gets, nothing beats the power of tacos, timing, and a touch of chaos. Victory, my friends, had been served on a tortilla.